Here we are with another chapter from the book Ask and It Is Given. And today we are going to do chapter 15 of part 2, or process number 15 of part 2. And this is called the wallet process. For those people who have issues with money, issues with creating abundance, this is a really useful process. And I have to tell you, I have practiced this process many times for a couple of months at a stretch, because it's so easy to do. It is really, really easy to do. And I like easy things, because easy things you can put into action right away, and you can start seeing the results of those things that you're doing. So, all right, I did not copy the YouTube link, but if you guys want to head over to my YouTube channel, we're broadcasting live at my channel on YouTube. Okay, so let's get into it. When to use this process. So Abraham says, when you want to attract more money into your experience, that's a good time. When you want to improve the way you currently feel about money in order to allow even more money to flow into your life. When you want to get your juices flowing regarding your specific desire. So this process is really unlike other processes, because the other processes you can use and apply them to any subject in your life. But this process is more specific to money. When you feel that there's a shortage of money in your life. So Abraham says that this process is most useful. So it's useful at any place on the emotional scale, but most useful if you are between 6 and 16. What is 16? 16 is discouragement, and 6 is hopefulness. So anywhere in that window is you can use this process. So I'm just going back to get to the emotional scale. So here it is. So discouragement is number 16, disappointment is 12, worry is a 14, right? So discouragement 16 and hopefulness is 6. So it's quite a big range here. Let me show you this. Hang on one second. So take a look. This range covers both negative and positive emotions. So it goes from the negative side of the emotional scale all the way to the positive side of the emotional scale, because hopefulness is pretty high up on the emotional scale. So if you're hopeful, this is going to increase your positive momentum and bluster you further up on the emotional scale. And if you're at discouragement, it's going to bring you a couple of levels up. If you do this process, actually, it makes you feel so good that it will bump you over that line. And I like dividing the emotional scale at the step of worry, because to me, if a simpler way of looking at the emotional scale is just to divide it into two parts, one that feels good and one that doesn't feel good. And I use a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being joy, and cut it off in the middle at 5. 5 is worry. So this process goes from below the worry line all the way up to a positive emotional place. So Abraham says, many people without realizing it are focused upon the lack of money rather than the presence of money in their experience. This process helps us to switch that around, because what this process is about is carrying a brand new $100 note in your wallet. That's why it's called the wallet process. And every time you go shopping Or even if you don't go shopping specifically, every time you're in a store, or even if you're looking at things online, you can spend this vibrational currency. And you do that by spending it over and over again. And I think with the way online websites are structured, all you have to do is go to Amazon and fill your shopping cart full of stuff that adds to $100, and you don't have to buy it. All you have to do is take that $100 bill, feel it in your hands, smell it, and tell yourself, I have the $100. That wouldn't it be fun to spend it on all of these things? If I really wanted to, I could buy these things. But it's not actually about buying those things. It's about creating a wish list, and then knowing that you have the money to actually bring all of those things home. Because when you put that vibration out there, it is a vibration of having. It's a vibration of abundance, because what you're saying is, I already have the money to get all of these things. And that makes you celebrate. Where is celebration on the emotional scale? Of course, it's high up, isn't it? And that celebration, that feeling of knowing that you have the money, is the feeling that we want to generate, because that is the feeling of abundance versus the feeling of lack, the feeling of the absence of money. Right? So now Abraham, as they talk about this process, they actually talk about going into a physical store and looking at things and looking at the shelf and saying, oh, I could buy 10 of these, or I could buy 100 of these if you go into a dollar store. But I think that in this day and age, it is so much easier for us just to go to an online website. Pick a website that you love going to. For me, that would be Pair One. Oh yes, absolutely. I love going to Pair One. And I love going to Amazon too. Because there's so much variety and so many beautiful things to choose from. And every day you go there and you fill your shopping cart up with things. And then you tell yourself, I've got this $100 bill. I could spend it right now. I've got the wherewithal. I've got the money that I need in order to take all of this home, and then just leave it there, because it's about enjoying that process. And I tell you, isn't it fun? Have you ever done this? Because I can tell you, I've done this. I love this process because it's just so much fun. So have fun with this process. And as it goes with all the processes that Abraham teaches, I'm going to tell you, don't do the process in order to make something happen. Do the process just to feel good. And if you do the process to feel good, the universe has to fill in all the blank spaces to give you what you want. Because the feeling of abundance is everything. And I tell you, although this process is about money specifically, but think about it. If you generate the vibration of abundance and you do that every day in your life, now all the subjects in your life gravitate to that feeling of abundance. So abundance of food to eat, abundance of good friends, abundance of interesting things to do, abundance of so many things. Everything gravitates to your dominant vibration. And that's what we want. We want our dominant vibration to become one of having, one of abundance. And absolutely, we want tons of money. Why wouldn't we? We want tons of money because money is spiritual. Comment below. Money is spiritual. Manifesting money is one of the ways that we know that we are being spiritual. Because when you're spiritual, you're aligned. And money showing up is a demonstration, it's evidence, it's proof of your alignment. So, my dear friends, money is an extremely yummy spiritual thing to have. And it is not wrong to want more money, because you're wanting more money and you're having more money does not take it away from anyone else. I know that I grew up with with parents who had very negative attitudes towards people who had money. My mother called them snobs. My father thought that they had a kink in their neck or something like that. I don't remember the exact words, but you know, you you've learned these things, or I have learned these things, and now I've had to unlearn them, because I have understood that you cannot want more money and also at the same time think that money is bad. What's that phrase everyone uses? Money is the root of all evil. No, 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 no. The absence of money is the root of all evil. Why do people steal from other people? They steal because they don't have enough, right? So the absence of money is the root of all evil. Having money means that you can not only help yourself, but you can help others as well. And look around you. Look at the people in the world who have lots of money, the Bill Gates of this world. They've created amazing charities and trusts and foundations, and there's so much good work going on, and it is going on because they have more than what they need, and they have this knowing that more will come, so they're not hanging on to what they already have. This hanging on to what I have, I'm not going to let it go, because if I let it go, I don't know that I can replace it. That's a feeling of lack. When you have a feeling of abundance, you have the feeling of having more than enough. More is going to come. I'm going to spend all of this, and then more than that is going to come. And it's just going to keep coming, and I'm going to keep giving it away or spending it, because there's no end to it. Because that really is how it is. Money is just like the air we breathe or the water that we drink. And don't please let anyone talk you into thinking that those two things are scarce in the world, because there is no such thing as scarcity. Because law of attraction says if you want it, you can have it, and everyone can have everything that they want. So resources can multiply. Because why? Why can resources multiply? Because we are energy generating machines. We are generating energy all the time. Energy only changes form. It never goes away. That is why thoughts become things. Because thought is a form of energy. And when that energy manifests, it becomes matter. So matter changes form from solid state to non-physical state. That's it. And here we are generating new matter, new energy. Every minute that we are awake and conscious, we are generating matter. So we are contributing towards the expansion of the universe. The universe is growing, and the resources of Earth, this planet, are growing because of our power of thinking. There is no shortage in the world. The world is an abundant place. We can create abundance in our life, abundance of everything that we want. And all it takes is to generate the emotion of abundance. That's all. We just need to generate the emotion of abundance. And this wallet process that Abraham is teaching us is one of the ways in which we generate the feeling of abundance. And when we generate the feeling of abundance, then abundance of all sorts of things is going to follow. Okay, so now let's talk about the specifics of this process. So here's the process. Obtain $100 bill and put it in your wallet or purse. Do you know that I always carry this? I have never stopped carrying it. And then something happens and I use it. The last time I used the $100 bill that was in my wallet was because I met someone who reminded me of myself. A respectable lady who didn't have a penny in her bank account, not a single penny. And so I gave the $100 to her. And I gave it to her. It was a gift because she needed it more than I needed it, and I knew I could replace it, but she wasn't there yet. She wasn't at that level of belief that she could replace it. And so, and I currently have $100 bill in my wallet because it's just so much fun. Have you ever held $100 bill in your hand and appreciated it? Oh my God, it feels so good. Holding money feels so good. Do you remember the time when you were a child and when somebody gave you a brand new note, how good it felt? Oh, I remember that. I remember it more so because we have a celebration, a custom that we celebrate every year where children get money. I know Chinese people also have it. I know Iranian people also have that custom of giving money. And so it's a common custom. But I just remember how much fun it used to be to hold fantastic feeling brand new notes in your hand, and I still feel that same way, don't you? Right? And so if you have this $100 note, can you imagine how good it feels? I feel like going and grabbing that $100 bill from my handbag just now because I just am feeling so good that it is in my wallet, right? And so all you have to do is to go to, well, let's see what Abraham says, and I've already told you what I do. Okay, so Abraham says, obtain $100 bill and put it in your wallet or purse. Keep it with you at all times, and whenever you hold your wallet or purse, remember that your $100 bill is there. Feel pleased that it is there, and remind yourself often of the added sense of security that it brings you. Now, as you move through your day, take note of many things that you could purchase with that $100. You know what? Abraham recommends that, but in all the number of times that I've tried to do this process, I have done this process, I always forget during the day. I have to make time to do this, to remember to fish out my $100 bill. And for me, the way it works best is just to go to Amazon or just to go to Pair One or one of my favorite websites and browse for things that are beautiful and put them in my cart, and until my cart adds up to $100, and just appreciate that I have the $100 there to spend. Okay, so by holding the 100 bill and not spending it right away, you receive the vibrational advantage of it every time you even think about it. And that's the most wonderful thing in the world. Try it, try it, try it, try it. Try. It feels so good to have $100 in your hand just for no reason. And you know what? There are people who have carried this, have learned it from Abraham, and they've carried it to an extreme where there are people who have learned to do this process from Abraham, and they carry $1,000 or $2,000 in brand new notes in their wallets every day because it makes them feel wealthy. Now, if you're not there and you can't do that, then don't do that. $100 is enough. It's 100 pounds in the UK would be enough. 100 euros in anywhere in Europe would be enough. It's about having a large enough sum of money that you can actually buy nice things with, things that you would like to buy. Okay, so the idea is you can spend this $100 on imaginary shopping sprees 10 times a day if that's what you want. But even if you just browse nice things for half an hour, put them in your cart and have them add up to $100, it's a lot of fun. I'm telling you, it is a lot of fun. Can you feel my fun? Right? Okay, so each time you acknowledge that you have the power right here in your wallet to purchase this or do that over and over again, you add to your sense of financial well being. So your point of attraction begins to shift. And that's how simple it is. We make it so complicated, but really, law of attraction is so simple. It's about doing tiny little things that help us along, push us along on the emotional scale higher and higher and higher. That is all that it's about. Okay, so then Abraham says, a clearer way of saying it is that any feeling of lack of abundance causes a resistance that does not allow abundance. So if you're thinking about that bill that's waiting to be paid, or you're calculating whether the money that you will get at the end of the month is going to be enough for you to be able to pay all your bills, then that's where you generate a feeling of lack, right? And when you generate that feeling of lack, it stops the abundance that is on its way. Because you see, here's the thing. Understand that if you have asked for it, it is already on its way. It is coming. And if you don't go towards the negative side, it will manifest. The only reason money is not manifesting in our lives with the speed and quantity that we want it to manifest in is because we are the ones who are creating barriers along the way. Okay, so by mentally spending this money again and again, you practice the vibration of well-being, of security, of abundance, and of financial security. And the universe responds to the vibration you have achieved by matching it with manifested abundance. Okay, so folks, then Abraham says that it has to be a real $100 bill, because I forget where they said that, but they said that someone put an IOU for $100 in their wallet instead of actually putting a $100 bill. But that's putting a debt in your wallet rather than having. So the feeling of debt is the feeling of lack. So that's not a good idea. I remember way back when I was following some other teachers. I don't even want to say who it was, but I was following some other very popular teachers, and they actually gave us, I attended workshops, and they gave us fake money, fake $100 bills. Well, because it's fake, you know it's fake. You know you don't have the ability to spend it because it's fake. That does not, it does not feel as real as having a real $100 bill in your pocket, right? So do it with an actual $100 bill, and you will observe a difference in your vibration. You'll know how different it feels. And I'll tell you something very simple, and that is just take it out and look at it. Just take it out, hold it in your hands, and look at it with appreciation, with love. You have to fall in love with money, because the vibration of love is the highest vibration in the world. And I love money is a fantastic affirmation only if you feel good when you say it, right? So if you're not in a place yet where you're not high enough on the emotional scale that you can say those words without feeling a lack, then don't go there. And go there if it makes you feel good. It makes me feel good to say, I love money. And folks, if you're feeling the love for money just now, comment below, I love money. Because that's a good feeling. I love money. I want tons of it. I want lots for me, and I want so much that I just give it away and buy that and do that and go there and give it away, and more always comes. That's a feeling of abundance. That's the feeling that we want to generate. And when you spend those $100 again and again and again, that's really what you're accomplishing. You are accomplishing, reaching a place of abundance. And when you do that on a consistent basis, oh my God, things will change. So here's the thing. Let's play this game together. Do this. Do it for, I don't know, 10 or 20 days would be good. I like to say, 30 days is a good estimate. Sometimes 40 days is a good estimate. Doesn't matter. Just do it with consistency. Because I know that even if you do it for 3 days, it is enough to start enough momentum going that you're going to start observing a change. And I say that because changing one's energy only takes 3 days. It only takes 3 days to get rid of any substance in your body. So the substances, our resistance is stored in our physical body in the form of blockages. And we can absolutely get rid of it within 3 days.